Hey, hello, here's our selection of customs and global trade updates for week number 5, 31st of January to the 6th of February 2022. We welcome you to Customs Manager. Hey, before we get into it, please subscribe to our channel, like and share this video, and follow us on LinkedIn and on Twitter. So what we looked at this week is the official publications of the official journal of the EU, as well as guidance on DG Taxud, as well as DG Trade. And on the UK side, we looked at UK guidance and legislation changes, as well as HMRC website and the Department of International Trade. So what have we found? Well, look, today we're going to start with the UK. So it's all about leveling up in the UK, right? So we have a new white paper or a paper where 12 bold national leveling up missions are described. And this is a direct result of being free for being able to do all of this lovely thing. No more EU interfering. And so now is the time to level up Britain. And it will shift the government focus and resources to Britain's forgotten communities throughout the 2020s, it says. And why does that matter? Well, because it is dubbed the biggest shift of power from Whitehall to local leaders in modern times. So every part of England is now to get a London-style power and mayor if they wish to. And they have a lot of other things that they want to do, including domestic public investment in research and development, all of which is to help the North, the Midlands, the Southwest, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland to level up. If you want to read more about this and what this matters for trade, to have the UK a collective powerhouse throughout the United Kingdom and not just centered in London, then here is the link, and we also put it down below. Something that got a little missed, but shouldn't be missed, because there is a 100+ document called the Benefit of Brexit, would you believe? The Benefits of Brexit, how the UK is taking advantage of leaving the EU. There is a lot of stuff in there. We have only focused on the customs/border relevant matters as well as trade. So there is a policy document that sets out how the UK is capitalizing on the benefits of Brexit and how the government will use its new freedoms to transform the UK into the best regulated economy in the world. And it talks about trade, and on page 98, when it talks about leadership in championing a rule-based international trading system, it talks about free ports and about borders, the UK border, making the UK border the most effective border in the world. If you want to find out more, we've linked the link below, and also we'll discuss it in the subsequent video. As you know, every week we do 2 videos. This is the free plan video, and there's a more granular video for planned paid subscribers. And this is where we're going to discuss what's in this paper, so you're up to date without having to read the thing. You also may have seen it in the news that there is trade with Northern Ireland trouble. The DUP Minister Edwin Poots ordered officials last Wednesday to hold the post-Brexit checks to Northern Ireland's ports on goods arriving from Great Britain, but those checks were actually continuing. And then we had the NI Minister Paul Giva resign. So for a moment, there was a concern amongst the UK as to what this means and whether there will be still checks in the Irish Sea, but it was clarified later in the week that these would continue. And of course, trade with GB and Northern Ireland has special SPS checks and customs formalities. There's a special arrangement called the Northern Ireland Protocol. So a little bit of blood flowing and blood in circulation this week on Northern Ireland. We have blog entries all about trade with Northern Ireland, so it's a big focus of us. We have a blog entry how to move goods from GB to NI. We have blog entries on how to move goods from NI to IE and to the Republic of Ireland via Northern Ireland coming from Great Britain. And of course, everything about the new arrangement of the protocol, including goods at risk and how to prepare for the changes in Northern Ireland. So if you want to check that out, you can always look at our expert blog. Onwards and upwards, the UK was very busy this week. We have an FTA with Israel. There is an FTA in place. It is the continuation FTA that the EU has signed, and now the UK wants to go a step further and wants to restart the negotiation and get a trade deal that really works for the UK. So the Department of International Trade has published a call for input on a proposed trade deal with Israel. And it's an 8-week consultation. It's live now if you want to go ahead. And to respond to that, we have linked the link down below. And as you know, the UK is Israel's 3rd largest trading partner, and it's pretty significant that we get a good deal with the digital services, life science at the core, and of course, goods are in there as well. Although, as I said, we already have a deal on goods, and it is the continuation agreement that the EU had with Israel. Well, exciting news come on the UK export control front. The controlled goods list has been republished. And that's important because if you're exporting goods from the UK and they are strategic goods, they may require an export control license before export. So you've got to work off the correct list in order to figure out which goods need a license and which don't. We have a free blog that tells you about the strategic controls list of military and dual use items, bit of an introduction. And then if you need more granular information, then there are the top tips of understanding the consolidated list of strategic and military and dual use items. So check that out. It's quite interesting. And of course, you can download the latest list as well. There were tariff code changes, in particular to high alcoholic strength alcohol. And you know that correct customs classification is essential to ensure the right tariff and duty has been paid. If you want to know more about that, what that was all about, then check out the additional explainer video for week number 5. Also, the country code EU in the UK trade tariff and the customs handling of import and export freight, so the chief system, has been removed. The country code EU will now no longer be valid in any data field, and the specific member state country code must be used. Again, we detail more in our additional explainer video for week 5. On the guarantee waiver front, there are updates. So the rules for a guarantee waiver for a duty deferment account that really a lot of people need has been clarified, and this is good because if you get a guarantee waiver, then you can get a duty deferment account for much cheaper. And again, more details in the additional video later on. Now, turning to the EU, there have been minor changes to the EU dual use regulation. There's a correction to the dual use list, and the dual use list is the one in Annex 1. And as you know, items with these specific parameters that are covered by the list are subject to authorization. Want to find out more? Then please check out the additional explainer video. There's also a lot of information on the EU dual use regulation because it changed last year. There is a training course as well. There is a sanctions update. So there are changes of the names on the EU terrorism list. There are amendments of the Afghanistan sanction rules, and there are changes to the Tunisia sanction rules. You know, it may be illegal to trade with persons, entities, and organizations that are on sanctions lists, so you've got to know who actually is on them. If you want to find out more, then all the EU sanctions in the latest version can be found on our expert blog. There's more information on EU-US trade, in particular as regards mussels, clams, oysters, and other seafoods, and that trade between the US and the EU had stopped, and will now start again. More information here on the link below and in the description below. As regards EU trade barriers, there is a case on measuring the effect of trade in the tequila case. Now, this is a very particular case of exportation of tequila from Mexico, and there was a complaint that from the brewers of Europe who had argued that Mexico's refusal to issue export certificates for tequila was WTO incompatible, and that would cause significant damage to an EU company relying on tequila as an input. Now, in the course of the investigation, the Commission raised this with the Mexican authorities, and the measure was challenged. And as a result, this has now been resolved. If you want to know what happened, then please check out the link below. And there is news on EU-China relations as regards trade. The EU has referred China to the WTO following its trade restrictions on Lithuania. So there's a case that has been launched against China over its discriminatory trade practices against Lithuania. And that, of course, given the single market, hits other exporting nations of the EU